right, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my 15-year anniversary class. Um, Time flies. It's a bit scary. I just want to say thank you. Um, Thank you for being here this morning, taking your time to come and join me and celebrate with me. I know that there are several people on here who have been with me a very long time, some almost the whole 15 years, and some are brand new and have never practiced with me before, so welcome. Bienvenidos to you friends who speak Spanish. I received my 200-hour teacher training in December of 2008, taught my first class January 19th, 2009 at the Crate and Barrel corporate offices in Chicago, Illinois. I remember it very well because I had notes and I had them tucked underneath my mat, so like every few poses I'd be like, what's next, just in case I forgot. So I am a bit surprised at how quickly the time goes, because it really does feel like yesterday. And I've just had the privilege of teaching a lot of places. The last time I actually submitted counts, I think I was over 3,000 teaching hours. So it's a lot of flow that I've done, a lot of meditation, a lot of breath work, a lot of movement, and a lot of people, a lot of different places. Obviously, some of you know I have my own studio, but I've taught in many different places: studios, breweries, yards, rooftops, coffee shops, museums, you name it. I've taught there. So anyway, it's been a blessing. I will not go on and on. You're not here for my history. So the reason that I wanted to do this also is to kick off this portion of Feeding Faith Missions. When we launched Feeding Faith, if you actually look on our logo, it says missions, meals, and movement. And part of the movement was me trying to bring this into people in the villages. And that is something that I've done very little of, but I really want to relaunch that and bring that to people here, specifically the women in the villages. They are highly stressed. They do a lot of movement that, most people who are watching are not used to. You're not used to carrying bundles of sticks on your head, or bundles or gallons of water on your head and things like that. So physically they really need it, mentally they really need it. So that's part of my goal, is to add this back into Feeding Faith. Excuse me. With that said, I'm also kicking off a playlist on this channel called Meditation Moments. When you finish watching this class, if you head on over to the channel and you look for the playlist, it's there. There's already a welcome message, and I've already recorded a few meditation moments for the next couple of weeks, so you can also click notify me so that you get notified of those. My plan really is to try to launch one maybe every Tuesday. So that's, best laid plans and all that, but life happens, so that's my plan. So we will get started here in just a moment, and this is going to be an all levels class, a little bit restorative. So if you've never practiced before, this is a beginner's class. Again, I'm not going to do anything too crazy today. For people who are longtime practitioners, this might be too easy for you, but the way I look at this, everybody can benefit from any kind of movement. It's sort of like chair yoga. Many of you know that I teach a chair yoga class online on Thursday mornings, and usually the stereotyping of a chair yoga class is old people or senior citizens or immobile people. That's one of my favorite things to do, because I always need it, because just sitting in that chair and doing all the different movements we do helps loosen up the body and prepare it for whatever it is you're going to do today. All right, so I believe that's all of my announcements. Oh, actually one more. So where I live in Chiquimula, in a subdivision, there's lots of construction that happens around us, and then right behind me is a fairly large thoroughfare. I'd say it's a highway. It's not really. It's only about a 2-lane road. However, there's highway style traffic that goes on. Lots of semis and things like that. So I apologize if there is residual noise that happens behind me. There is construction going on as we speak, as we flow, and that's kind of one of those things in meditation moments we'll talk about in the next couple weeks, is about accepting what you can't control. So it's hard for me, and I know it's hard for other people, especially with noise. So Don't be shocked if you start hearing bang, 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 because I've already heard that a little bit this morning, but in the moment, it's quite quiet. So, all right, so hopefully you have a mat. If you don't have a mat, you're fine if you're on a carpet. If you have hardwood or tile floors, just get a towel or a blanket or just something you can lay out so that you're a little more comfortable than being on a hard floor. And then my plan today is also for this to be about an hour. Hopefully it won't go too long. I don't want to take up all your day. So go ahead and come into an easy seat. Now, if this is not accessible for you, you're welcome to stretch your legs out or maybe bring one in, whatever's best for you. Or if your hips are super tight and you're like this, maybe grab a pillow or a blanket or something that you can stack evenly, and that will lift you up to bring the knees down below the spine to take load off your low back. So there's your first teaching moment for today. All right, let's go ahead and bring our palms face up for receiving and extend your arms out. Maybe roll the shoulders once or twice, wiggle your fingers. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. Anything comes up in your nervous system, maybe an itch or a twitch, go ahead and shake it off right now and let all of that go before finding that nice stillness. Go ahead, close your eyes if you haven't already. Lean back into your sitting bones, lift your heart towards the sky. And then check in with where your chin is. So a lot of times when I say sit up tall, the chin and the head go up. I want the chin nice and level with the floor. And just breathe. Simply breathe naturally. And notice the quality of your breath this morning. Is it smooth, staggered, shallow, or deep? I don't want you to judge it. I just want you to notice where it is right now in this present moment. It could be different from an hour ago or yesterday. That doesn't matter. Just what's going on right now is all we want to focus on. Just breathe. Now from here, just start to take a quick scan of the body, starting at the crown of your head and just sweeping downward, almost like a little pendulum, like a slow pendulum, just going back and forth, checking in with any feedback your body's giving you. Maybe allow your eyes to melt in their sockets, release the cheeks. Check in with the mouth. Is there any tension? Are you clenching your teeth? Is your tongue stuck on the roof of your mouth? If it is, let it go. Wiggle inside the mouth. Relax the jaw. And just continue to scan down the body. Again, just checking in, not judging. Noticing any feedback. Feedback could just be a twitch, an ache. Maybe you don't feel anything in a lot of these parts of the body, so yay, good for you. But again, don't judge, just scan downward through the chest and torso, melting down through the arms, wrists, and hands. Maybe extend the hands out. Sweeping down through the belly, pelvis and hips. Checking in with the legs, knees, all the way through the ankles and toes. Now with your next inhale, re-lengthen the body all the way towards the sky as if someone has a rope at the top of your head pulling you up to separate each vertebrae. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, nice, long, and deep. Long release. Let's do one more time. Allow your shoulders to melt. And then let's just take a moment, check in with your senses. Notice the air on your skin. Any light coming in from behind closed eyes. The weight of your hands on your knees or your thighs. The touch. Notice any smells in the room. Check in with taste. And finally, with sound, noticing any sound within or inside or outside the room, or maybe from this video, sound of my voice. Just checking in with all 5 senses, allowing yourself to notice where you are in this present moment. I just worked it into the sound of my breath and then released it out. From here, I want you to bring your hands in a prayer position, bringing your thumbs right up against the heart. Let's take a big collective breath together. Inhale and exhale it out. Go ahead and slowly start to flutter your eyes open. Welcome back. All right, I want you to inhale, just lift up. Then as you exhale, interlace your hands and press all the way out, dropping your chin to your chest, and then relax your shoulders away from your ears. On your inhale, roll forward and up. Exhale, strong arms down like someone's pulling them in opposite directions, and then come back to prayer. So that's our first flow. Exhale, press. Inhale, roll forward and up. Exhale, down. And back to prayer. Press. Sweep up. Exhale down. Now I really want you to just focus on trying to breathe in and out of your nose only. That actually conserves your energy. Inhale. Exhale. Lift. Exhale. Press. One more time after this. Roll forward like you're sweeping the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise. And press. Beautiful. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Just bring your hands to the floor. Readjust. Sit up nice and tall. Lick the lips, swallow. Inhale, reach. Interlace at the top. Now roll your shoulders down the back. It's okay if you have to bend your elbows if your shoulders are tight. You're going to bend over to your right and try to keep your head in between the arms so that you're not squished, you're not off center on either side. If you can, bring those arms back by your ears and then press that outside hip, so your left hip out into the floor. Lift up, breathe, and use your core. You're going to pull in the belly button as you inhale to come up. Other side. Breathe. Again, readjust the head if you can. Press that right hip, sitting bone into the floor. Inhale, bring it back up. Relax those shoulders. Exhale, strong arms down. Inhale, up. Right arm down. Take that left arm and dive it up and over. So this isn't just like hanging that arm over. I want you to think about it coming all the way from the hip flexor up through the ribs, like you're diving up and over, and then take that shoulder away from the ear. Breathe. Got a little deeper practice, you can try to rotate the chest towards the sky. Just don't let that shoulder crunch up by your ear. Inhale. Exhale, rotate back towards me. Use your core, pull in the belly. Inhale, up. Other side. So again, check in with your shoulders. Relax. See if you go a little deeper. And inhale, bring it up. Exhale, down. All right, inhale for a twist. Inhale up. Let's drop the shoulders first, then rotate to the right. Take your hands down and breathe. So what I want you to focus on now is not pushing yourself into a twist. Nothing that we do should be like jamming or pushing. If you are, you're basically doing the opposite of yoga. So think about that rope at the top of your head. Inhale, it pulls your vertebrae up. As you exhale, draw in the belly and twist. Then inhale, let's take those arms back up to center, melt the shoulders and rotate to the other side. One hand on the floor, one hand on the knee, maybe just above the knee. You don't ever really want to press on your knees. Pull the belly in and breathe. Try to allow your eyes to go as far to the left as they can, because where the eyes go, the body will follow. Last breath in, lengthen. Twist. And then inhale, bring it back up to center. Exhale, down. Go ahead and take your hands onto your knees. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, start to just make hip circles all the way around. See, the airplanes I don't mind because they have a rise and a fall. So you inhale as it rises and gets close to you, and then you can exhale as it lets go. Banging is another thing. All right, let's do a couple more. Exhale. Inhale. You can get your shoulders in here and kind of get all groovy with it. Rolling it all around. Last one in this direction. And then bring it back up. Sit up nice tall. Inhale through the crown. Exhale, other side. Let's do 3 more. One. And bring it back. Good. Let's just do some seated cat and cow. Inhale, want you to roll forward and up. So we're just warming everything up. Then start at your tailbone. So start the tailbone, then pull it in and round the spine. So it's similar to what we did when we had the hands, when we started earlier. Inhale, roll forward and up. Tuck your tail, come down belly, chest, and chin. Inhale, same thing, start with the tailbone, belly, chest, and chin, and reverse. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, I want you to hold. Drop your shoulders, lean into it. Feel that stretch in your shoulder blades. And then inhale, roll forward and up. And then we're going to go ahead and come on to all fours. So again, if you do not have a mat, or maybe if you've got some knee issues, you might want to grab a blanket or a towel. Just make sure whatever you put under your knees is folded flat. It's not all jammed up in a ball. So to set up for cat and cow, I want you to have your hands directly under shoulders, knees under hips, and then when you look between your legs, you shouldn't see your feet, so everything's nice and straight back. Then push the floor away from you, tuck your tailbone slightly, and it's the same motion we did just seated, excuse me, the same motion we just did as we were seated. So start at the back, drop the belly, roll forward, head comes up last, and then same in reverse. Tuck the tail, round the spine, head comes down last, and you push the floor away from you. Inhale, work with your breath. And then exhale, tuck, round, and release. Keep going. Inhale forward and up. And exhale. Let's just do 3 more. You can get a little deeper if that's what your body is craving. Exhale. Last 2. Exhale down. And 1. Exhale down. I want you to hold here. So you're in an angry cat position. Push the floor away. Press the tops of your feet down. Stretch. Bring the chin towards the chest. Let your head hang out like a bobblehead. Breathe. And then go ahead and come back. Bring your big toes together. Widen your knees as much as you'd like. And come down into Batasana, into devotional pose. So walk it forward. Then tuck your chin and place the center of your forehead, your third eye, on the forehead. So you're not jammed into your chin. Try to tuck that chin down towards the chest a little bit. And breathe. Big hip opener. If at any point through the practice you feel fatigued or you need to just chill out for a minute, this is the pose. This is a great resting pose. Nice hip opener. Breathe deep. Try to sink those hips down towards your heels. Check in with the eyes, the mouth, the tongue. Let it go if it's stuck. Breathe. And then inhale, gaze forward. Go ahead and shift forward and up. Readjust back into tabletop pose. Let's go ahead and take your right arm forward. Take your left foot back. Now, if this is too difficult right off the bat, you can just use your leg. Tuck your tailbone under. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, draw it together. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Keep going with your breath. So if you're wobbly, push this back foot and the baby toe down into the mat. That'll stabilize you. All right, last 2. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. Last 1. And forward. I'm going to throw in one little challenge for anybody who's a little more advanced. So take it forward. The rest of you can either stay here or bring your feet and hand back down. You're going to sweep around and grab that foot and then bring it back to center. Then push the foot into the hand to lift. Nice deep breath in. If this is not accessible for you, don't do it. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, release and take it back down. Shake it out. And then readjust to tabletop. So always go back to your foundational poses. Press into the floor. Make sure you don't see those feet between your knees. And then we're going to switch sides. Left arm's going to come out. Press that left foot down for stability. Right leg comes back. And as I said, if this is really difficult, you can just do the hand or just do the knee. So push into that floor. Gaze down. Nice flat neck. Exhale. Bring it in. Inhale, reach. Kick the heel out. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. You'll notice I just adjusted my hand because it was way far forward. So try to get it directly underneath the shoulder. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Then you can either bring your hands back down to the mat and just pause or go into that devotional pose or come around, but then bring it back to center. Push the foot back into the hand and lift. And if you're getting super wobbly, push that back foot down into the mat. Gaze upward if you can. If you can't, you can gaze down. Perfectly acceptable. And then release it down. Bring it back. Bring your wide knees, big toes touch. Let's come into devotional pose again. Forehead to floor. Breathe. Exhale, start to come back up. Readjust. We're going to set up to thread the needle. So we're going to start on our right hand side. So you're going to push the floor away. Take that right arm all the way up to the sky. And then you're going to hook it through like you're threading a needle and come all the way down to the mat. I'm actually going to move myself so you can get that full expression. And then once you come down, I want you to make sure this arm's at 90 degrees. Then press it back up. Exhale, scoop it through. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. On this last one, we're going to come down and hold. Bring it all the way down. Ear or the side of your head to the floor. Again, don't have a floppy arm on this left arm. Bring it up to 90 degrees if you can. Anyone who's a little more advanced, you're welcome to walk it forward. Or if you're really advanced, you can try to take it behind the back. So again, these are just different options. Try to hook it on that right thigh. Again, these are just 3 options for you. Breathe. Last breath, inhale. As you exhale, maybe push into the twist a little. Push the back of that right hand down. If your arms are extended or behind the back, bring them back to 90 degrees. Then inhale, let's press back up. And exhale down. Readjust and we'll go to the other side. So again, start with a nice straight spine, crown to tail. Left arm's going to sweep up. Exhale, hook it under. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, release. 3. And 2. And then last one. Take it all the way down and breathe. Now again, if this is difficult on your head and neck, you can place a pillow or a blanket underneath. I did not ask you guys to bring any props today. There's a lot of little props to use to help support you. Maybe I'll cover those in one of the meditation moments. Breathe. So again, anybody who wants to keep going, you can walk that right arm forward, or you can inhale and bring it behind the back. If you can't reach the thigh, you can always just go to the small of the back, but it's not necessary. Again, you don't have to try these full expressions. Again, remember every day, every moment's different. I can get much deeper in that pose at 6 p.m. than I can at 8 a.m. Nice deep breath in. Press into it a little, rotate. This is a twist. And then let's unwind with an inhale. So inhale up. Exhale down. Back to devotional pose. Wide knees, toes touch. Walk it forward. Top of the head comes down. Breathe. All right, inhale, gaze forward, shift up. Go ahead and bring your knees towards one another. Curl your toes, lift your hips, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. So to begin, just go ahead and pedal out your feet. And then we'll get into the anatomy and the breakdown of this posture. I know a lot of people, myself included, when I was very young in my yoga practice before teaching, as I had a lovely, I really had a hate with this pose. Learned to love it. All right, so if you want to gaze towards me, what typically happens, especially when someone's new, is they look like this. They're rounded, they're struggling, they don't have the strength to hold themselves up. So what I want you to do is bend your knees and then bring your chest down as if it's going to rest on the thighs, so you want a flat back. If this is best for you, then when you come into down dog, stay here with bent knees. If you can support yourself a little better, start to lower the heels. And don't worry if they don't touch the floors. Everyone is different, and our anatomy is not all made to do that. Not everybody is meant to go in these quote-unquote full expressions, but the internet would try to tell you otherwise. So let's breathe. Keep pushing the floor away from you. It's 3, 2, 1. Shift forward to high plank, devotional pose, wide knees, toes touch. Come down and breathe. If you need to, wiggle out side to side. Gaze forward. Inhale, shift up. Bring those knees closer together. Hip width distance. Curl the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Again, you can always readjust yourself by bending the knees. Then from here, gaze forward. And I want you to just take baby steps to the front of your mat. It might take 10, it might take 3, depends on your anatomy. So like my legs are much longer than my arms, so my baby steps tend to have bent knees. And then once you get towards the front, just bend the knees, grab opposite elbows, rotate it out left to right. And then release the arms. Bend the knees, roll up like a rag doll. Come up one vertebrae at a time. And then shake it out. And I want you to come up to the front of your mat. We're going to set up in Tadasana, mountain pose. So as you look down, attempt to get your feet parallel. Now again, everyone's anatomy is different. If you naturally stand like this or like this is going to be extremely difficult, and it takes some practice, and you may never get there, and it may never anatomically be the way your body is meant to be. So we don't try to force everything. So again, try to get your feet parallel if possible, but again, you'll feel that. If you naturally stand like this, once you do this, you're going to feel that internal rotation on your thighs. Same if this is your natural stance. When you go to do this, you're going to feel that external. So find your comfort level. Come to the front of your mat. Kick your pelvis forward. Maybe squeeze the glutes slightly, not too tight. And then lift. Lengthen up. What happens? That chin comes up. Bring it level. Roll the shoulders down the back as if someone's pulling your middle fingers towards the earth. Close your eyes. So we're going to hang out here for just a couple of breaths so you find this foundational pose. This is one of the best, in my opinion, grounding poses you can possibly do ever. If you're stressed, find a corner, find a quiet room, come into mountain pose. Let yourself get grounded. Bring yourself, quote unquote, back down to earth. Breathe. Inhale through the crown of the head as if you're lengthening the spine. Exhale, melt your muscles down towards the earth as if someone's pulling shoulders down, the fingertips down. Press your toes down into the earth. Shift slightly into your heels. Just feel that connection with the feet. You stand here for 5 minutes, you're going to break out in a sweat if you're properly in Tadasana. So let's take one more long, deep breath. Inhale, lengthen through your crown, feel your spine expand. Exhale, melt it all down. And then flutter your eyes open. Inhale, take those arms all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, do a slow swan dive down to the floor. If you can't reach the floor, your shins is fine. Let's go ahead and shake it out. Get yourself into a bobblehead. And release the neck. Just for this first one. Then start to slide your hands up your shin, flat back. Roll the shoulders down the back. Then exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and step back into a high plank. And then today, I'm going to just teach this as a knees, chest, and chin. Those of you who know chaturanga, you're welcome to go into that. So you're going to go knees, chest, and chin, and slide through. And then inhale, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog. So again, you'll notice I have to readjust my feet because the arms are shorter than the legs. Breathe. Take your right leg back behind you and then take it forward in between your palms. Another little teaching moment here. If you get stuck here, move the foot forward. You do not want to be in this position. Eventually you'll blow your knee out. This is why you want to try to have them straight up and down. Step through, exhale, forward fold, reverse swan, nice flat back, palms touch, hands heart centered. So we're only going to do a few more. This is not a vinyasa class, so we're not going to do a lot of powering through stuff today. So we're just going to do maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. I'll decide as we start moving. Inhale up, melt your shoulders. Exhale, swan dive down, release the crown of your head. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Step back to plank. Then you're going to come down, knees, bend your elbows back, chest, chin. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. One breath. Push that floor away from you. Take your left leg behind you. Bring it forward between the feet. Right leg steps through to meet it. Forward fold. Reverse swan. Palms touch. Release. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Half lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop if hopping is in your practice. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe. Right leg up and through. Left leg meets it. Forward fold. Reverse. So you come up with a flat back. Back of the head comes up first. Kick your pelvis forward and release. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Half lift. Forward fold. Step back. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward dog. And readjust. Don't just allow yourself to be where you land. Make your proper adjustment before you move forward. Otherwise, that's how people get injured. Left leg through. Right leg. And release. Reverse swan. Palms touch. And let's come to heart center. I want you to just place your thumbs on your heart. Close your eyes and breathe. Scan the body from the top of the head down. Feel your heartbeat. Check in with Tadasana. All right, slowly open your eyes. You can take your hands onto your hips. Side note, this is your waist. These are your hips. Your hips are from that crease where your iliopsoas muscles are right here. Those are your hips. Little side note for you. All right, hands on your hips. Go ahead and step your right foot back for warrior 1. So you're going to bring it back at an angle. So ideally it's front foot, back foot. So your heels are lined up. Rotate your hip forward. Both feet are fully grounded. Make any adjustments. And then from here, inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. If possible, tuck your tailbone under a little so you're not swayed out. Breathe. And front knee is no more than 90 degrees. Melt the shoulders down the back. Breathe. Inhale, reach up very slightly. Exhale, take your right arm down to the back leg for a revolved warrior, Parivrtta, Vikshanasana. Reach it up. And then bring that right arm all the way back up. Palms touch. Then you're going to rotate and open to warrior 2. So now you're going to adjust those feet again. Front heels lined up with the back arch like a T, kind of like this. Arms out to a T. Tuck the tailbone. Gaze over the front fingertips. Once again, melt the shoulders. Gaze down towards that front knee. It shouldn't be in or out. It's nice and straight. Tracking the knee over the ankle. and then flip your front palm up. We're going to reach forward from those hips, then tilt it back and revolve. Again, Parivrita Virabhadrasana 2. Take a big breath in. Bring it back to Warrior 2, and then we'll start to flow. Reach it forward, and then bring it back. Exhale and reach. Inhale, extend. 2 more. Exhale and reach. Inhale, extend. Last one. And then bring it back and hold. Rotate your chest to the sky. And then exhale back to Warrior 2. Now gaze towards me. Point your toes towards the long end of your mat. Inhale. Exhale. Start to swan dive. Coming down with a flat back. Now you can release the hands. So again, depending on your body and your anatomy and your health, you can stay here with your shins. You may reach the floor as long as your back is not rounded in a ball. Once again, you're folding from these hip flexors. You're folding from here, coming down. And if it's accessible, you can release the head, release the crown towards the floor. Shift your weight a little forward towards the toes. Breathe. Hold it in your belly as you exhale. That gives you a little more space to fold. And then slowly start to come back up with a flat back. Bring those hands back up to the hips. Inhale. Shift your weight back up. Point your toes outward. For goddess pose. Yes, men. For goddess pose. Arms to a T. Roll the shoulders down the back. Bring them up like a cactus. And then make sure that they're open. They're not forward. Inhale, and then exhale and squat. So again, you want to make sure you're not tilted forward. Try to open up the chest. So inhale up, bring it to the top. Exhale down. Inhale up, maybe gaze up, and then exhale, gaze down. You can add the eyes in. It's just as important. Wherever your eyes go, your energy goes. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down, stop, and pause and pulse. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up, palms touch, hands come down to heart center. Front toes point to the front of your mat with one step. Sit back to the front. Come back to mountain pose. Close your eyes, check in, heartbeat, breath. Air on your skin. And then we're going to set up to do that on the other side. So you can go ahead and open your eyes. And then take your hands back to the hip flexors. Step back into Warrior 1. Rotate the hips. Shift forward. Breathe. So now again, another little teaching moment is my back foot. If you can see, my back foot's coming off the floor. So I'm going to shift it forward just a little bit, press down into it, make that adjustment so that the feet are fully grounded. Tuck the tailbone, breathe. Nice deep breath. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, pivot your left arm back, the right arm opens up. Breathe. More breath here. Take that back arm all the way up, but rotate towards the wide edge of your mat for Warrior 2. So you're going to have to most likely make an adjustment as you land. Front heel is lined up with the center of the back arch. Roll the shoulders down, gaze to the front, and breathe. Again, check in with that front leg, make sure it's not pivoting in or out. Knee is nice and straight over the ankle. Breathe. All right, let's set up for revolved warrior. Flip that front palm up. Inhale. Exhale forward. And inhale back. Hold the first one. And release. Breathe. So again, if that low back's starting to tuck under, try to press your pelvis a little bit forward. Breathe. Big inhale. Exhale, reach back and forward. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, let's hold. And exhale back to warrior 2. Pivot both toes towards that wide edge of the mat. Go ahead and take your hands back to the hips. Take a big inhale. Hinge forward at your hips. Shift your weight slightly forward into the ball mounts of the feet. That's that big fleshy part under the toes. Then go ahead, release those fingertips down, and we're going to go into a twist. So you're going to take your right hand over to your left thigh, or excuse me, to your right shin. Take the left arm up to the sky. If this is too difficult on that left arm, or if you're getting impinged in your shoulder, place a hand on your hip. Take a nice deep breath in. If you're able to, try to just pull slightly to bring that chest around to the thigh. Probably going to feel the opening of your hamstrings, those muscles behind your thighs. Breathe. Inhale, reach up to the sky if your arm is extended. Exhale, sweep it down, walk to the other side. Left hand on the right shin, right arm. Inhale, bring it up to the sky. And again, or on your hip, you can place the hand on the hip. Make any modifications for your own body. Your body is your best teacher. I'm simply your guide. If you're able to, you can just take that hand and softly bring the chest around to the thigh. Breathe. Don't lock out your knees. And then exhale, release that arm back down. Come back to center. You can walk the feet a little closer. Release the head, shake it out again like a bobblehead. And then from here, take your hands onto your thighs, bend the knees, and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Again, pivot the toes, step back to the front of your mat, shake it out. Bring those hands back to prayer. Let's come back to mountain pose, to Tadasana. And then go ahead and open your eyes. So we're going to go into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Once again, if you're new, you're probably going to be best to put your hands here, but you're welcome to try with your hands in prayer. So we're going to start on the right side, and you want to think of your legs as a pendulum. So you shift your weight to that right side and start to pick up the left toes. This hip shouldn't collapse. This hip should come in so you're nice and tall. Then you can rotate that leg open. Breathe deep. Find a focal point somewhere in the room. Now, if you're super wobbly, just put the heel on the ankle and stay here. If you would like to come up a little higher, you're going to come either to the calf, or you can bring it all the way to the thigh, not on the knee, because it's a hinge joint. So the knee's only designed to do this. Never, ever, ever put your foot on your knee. Breathe. Press your palms together. Press the leg. I'm sweating, boy. Press your leg and foot into one another. Press these energies into one another. And then if you have that balance, you're welcome to take those arms all the way up to the sky. Remember, trees blow. Bit off today. All right, bring your palms together if they're extended. Float them down to the heart. And then you're going to bend that leg forward. Kick it straight out. And then lower it down. Go ahead and shake it out. Come back to Tadasana. Kick it forward. Find your hand position. So whether it's here or here, I want you to start here and just think about taking a breath. Shift your weight to the left and bring that foot to where you're comfortable. Find your own edge. So again, you can have those hands where they're most comfortable. You can extend it out. Breathe deep. Press the foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. And if the arms are extended, inhale together. Exhale to the front. Inhale. Exhale. Lower it down. Very nice. Shake it out. Come back to the front of your mat. Let's find mountain pose. Roll those shoulders down the back. Kick your pelvis forward. I want you to flip your palms out at about 45 degrees. And breathe. Close the eyes for a moment. Again, check back in. When you're ready, open the eyes. Inhale back up. Exhale, swan dive. Half lift. Forward fold. Go ahead and step back to plank. Knees, chest, chin. Sweep it through. Bring the tops of the feet down. Inhale up. Curl them. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take one long breath here. Readjust. Bend the knees. Thighs to chest, chest to thighs. And then roll forward to plank. Knees wide. Big toes touch. Coming into Vipassana, devotional pose. Breathe. Made it through standing. We're good. Gaze forward. Go ahead and shift back up. Readjust to tabletop. And then you're just going to walk yourself down onto your belly. All the way down. Bring the tops of your feet down onto the mat. Your hands are going to come down by the breastbones. Elbows tucked in. You're going to start with that forehead on the floor. On your next inhale, go ahead and slowly start to lift the knees off the floor and then lift into a baby cobra. The knees coming up will help protect your low back. So big breath in. Drop those shoulders away from your ears. You never want them tucked up here. And then exhale, drop the knees. Bring your right ear to the mat. Arms down by your side. Wiggle it out. Come back. Readjust. Hands come back to the side. Elbows in. Press the tops of the feet down, lift up the knees, lift up. If you want to go a little further, you can lift those hands. Again, don't crunch, melt. You don't have to. If that's too much, just put the hands back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left ear comes to the mat. Knees release. Arms down by your side. Wiggle it out. Nose back to the mat. This time zip your feet up. Take your arms and just flip them towards the thighs. See if you can lift into that baby cobra. Bring the arms up if you're able to. And then if you want to keep going, lift the legs. Inhale. Into a reverse bow. One more time. Exhale it out. Right ear to the mat. Wiggle it out. And then one more in this series. You're going to go nose to the mat. Bring your feet up behind you. Grab the feet. Again, I didn't have you bring props, straps, help for this if you struggle to grab your feet or your pants or whatever it is you've got on. So again, start with the nose to the floor. And then just like we did when we were doing our leg, and when we were bringing the leg and knee together, and I had you bring that hand up and that foot up, push the feet back. Don't try to lift the legs. Push the feet back into the hands, and the body will naturally lift. Breathe. You try to lift, you're going to struggle. So push those feet back. Breathe. Rocking on the belly. Belly breath. Inhale. Exhale. Press and lift. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Slowly come down. Left ear to the mat. Release the feet. Bring the big toes together this time. Wiggle it out. And then gaze back down. Hands come underneath. You can separate the feet. Go ahead and start to lift up. Coming into a high cobra. And slowly roll. You're going to bring your feet together this time, knees together. And then one vertebrae at a time, very slowly. Let's come into child's pose. Always do that slow, because you just did all these back bends. Now you're in a forward bend. Take the arms down by your side. Top of the forehead on the floor. Walk those hands towards the back of the mat so that your shoulders are not scrunched by your ears. I'm going to create that space between your ear and your shoulder. And then tuck the chin, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Super slow, slow, slow. Again, let that head come up last. And then you can go ahead and sit down. Sweep your legs out in front of you. Again, anytime you're doing all these low back bends and whatnot, when you come up, let that head come up super slow so you don't get a head rush. All right, legs are going to be nice and straight for Dandasana, staff pose. Take your hands by your side and press into the floor, sitting up nice and tall. Now, if you have low back pain and issues, and I'm speaking from my own experience, early on, this was wicked because you're just wanting to do this because your back hurts. As you strengthen that low back, this is more accessible. So just pause here for a moment, flex your feet, press down slightly, close your eyes, breathe. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can press the thighs down just a little bit more. Flex the feet. Activate those legs. Inhale. And exhale. Relax the shoulders. One more time. Open the eyes. Inhale, arms up. Melt the shoulders. Again, hinge from those hip flexors I showed you earlier. When you can't go any further, bring your hands down. This is not the pose. The pose starts here, and then slowly with your breath, works you down so that you're nice and flat. If you want to get some more practice in, you can bend the knees, just like we did earlier. Pull the chest over the thighs, and then look, voila, you can reach your feet. Here, do an inhale and lengthen. Exhale, relax, and start to walk the feet forward, one breath at a time. So again, if you really want to practice this, do it over a slow amount of time, working with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. And then take those arms up next to your ears. Inhale, come up with a nice flat back. Exhale, down. Let's go ahead and bring your feet together into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Shake it out. Sit up nice and tall. So once again, access what's most accessible for you. You're welcome to grab the feet, the ankles, or the shins. Sit up nice and tall. Big breath in, hinge from the hip flexors, not by rounding your back. So you're nice and flat. Tuck the chin down slightly, lengthen the back of your neck, and breathe. Inhale through the crown. Exhale, draw the belly button in to fold. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale, slowly come back up. Let's fold your legs together. Let's grab the back of the thighs, sit up nice and tall. So we're going to come into boat pose. We're going to try to bring both legs up. If you struggle with that, you can just play one at a time. Bring both legs up. Draw the chest to the thighs. If it's accessible, you can release the hands. If not, just stay here. Spread out those toes, get those big yoga toes. And if you want to advance even more, you can straighten those legs out, flip the palms up, breathe. Again, no rounding in that back, nice flat back. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, bring it in. Cross the legs, give yourself a big hug. And then release, separate the feet back down, and we're gonna roll down one vertebrae at a time. Extend your arms, take a deep breath in, start to tuck the tail, and go down one vertebrae at a time. If you feel like you're gonna flip over, grab your legs. One down at a time. Nice and slow. And then when you release in, draw your knees in, give yourself a big hug, rock it out. Breathe. All right, let's place the feet on the floor for bridge pose. Arms are down by your side. I'm going to bring those feet a little bit closer in towards the buttocks, and then when you look down on the side, your feet shouldn't be pointed out, trying to get them nice and straight. Arms down by your side, take a deep breath in. Exhale, start to tuck the tail, roll the spine off the floor, and then you want to wrap, this is important, wrap your shoulders underneath themselves, even if you're not able to clasp. So eventually, if you're able, you can clasp the hands. If that doesn't work, that's fine, but you want to wrap those shoulders and then tuck the chin towards the sky so you have a nice natural curve in the back of your neck. Your neck should not be jammed flat in the floor. So push the floor away to lift. Again, use opposite energy. Use the energy of the earth to lift. Press down through your heels. Breathe. If you can clasp the hands, keep wrapping those shoulders. Go right ahead. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, lift. One more breath. If you have your hands clasped, unclasp them. Unwrap the shoulders first, and then come from the top down, tucking the tail one vertebrae at a time. And bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock it out. Place the feet on the floor. Let's take the left leg all the way up. Rotate it and place the ankle on top of the right knee. This knee is going to come out, and I want you to draw both legs in for a supine pigeon. So you can either grab the thigh or loop it through to the knee or the shin. Draw that leg in softly. Now the top leg, that knee presses up towards the sky. So go ahead and inhale, draw the right leg in. Keep it there, and exhale, press the left knee to the sky. Inhale, draw it in. Now your shoulders should be on the floor. You shouldn't be up like this in a ball. Again, all the work is coming from the low body. Upper body's relaxed. One more breath. Draw it in. Release. And then let it go. Cross the legs. If you need to, you can windshield wiper them out. Come back to center. Bring those feet back a little closer towards the body. Take the right leg all the way up. Rotate it open. Ankle on the knee. Draw it in. Grab the left leg where it is most comfortable. And inhale. Inhale, draw the left leg in. Exhale, that right leg, the knee just naturally drifts towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale. So you're deepening the pose. 2 more times. Inhale, left side comes in and stays in a little more. Shoulders are soft. Last one, inhale. Go ahead and release. Release both legs. Shake them side to side. And then bring it in. Go ahead and kick your feet straight up in the sky. We're just going to do the most basic inversion we can. We're not getting into headstands, handstands, shoulder stands today. But go ahead and just press those heels up to the sky. Again, I'm not dragging you over to the wall, but ideally you would get your buttocks and your legs up against the wall. To do this, this is super good to relax. This is good to do before bed. The deeper the inversion, the more it helps increase your gray matter. There's been several studies done on that, about how inversions help, if inversions work with your body. Breathe. Take those heels up. Nice big breath in. Inhale, press. Exhale, feel the rest of your body melt towards the floor, and then go ahead and release those legs. Shake them out. Draw them in, give yourself a nice big hug. And then go ahead and part the legs. Reach through, grab your big toes or your feet for happy baby. So kick the heels up to the sky, bring those knees towards the armpits, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If you're not familiar with happy baby, is exactly what it sounds like. So rock it out. This is super organic, and just pedal it out, whatever feels best. If you need to roll back and forth, again, let your body dictate what it needs right now before we go into our final relaxation. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release. Bring your feet down, and then stretch yourself all the way out onto your mat. Ideally, try to separate your feet hip width or beyond, so that maybe they're towards the corners of the mat. Arms are wide. You can shake out your hands, lay out nice and flat. Go ahead and wiggle. Close your eyes. And bring your awareness back inward. Just letting the earth support you from beneath your mat. Check in with your senses for just a moment. Start to relax the body from the top down, just sweeping down through the eyes, letting them melt back in the sockets, releasing the bridge of the nose, the cheeks. Lick the lips or swallow. Release that tongue from the roof of the mouth, wiggle it. You separate the teeth. Jaw and throat relax, sweeping down through the shoulders. Melting the arms and elbows, forearms and wrists into the floor, and just feeling softness wash across those hands. Maybe the hands widen out, nice and wide, and then relax a little deeper into the mat, into the earth. Your awareness comes back into your heart as you take a deep breath in, filling the chest and the lungs. And as you exhale, soften the rib cage, feel your internal organs let go. Your hips melt across the floor, softening the pelvis and thighs, kneecaps and shins, and releasing any final tensions out through the ankles, tops of the feet, and the toes. So your entire being has been let free from this space. Take a moment and start to visualize an ocean wave rolling up towards the feet. As you inhale your next breath, that wave rolls up and just softly lifts up, caressing and lifting the backs of those legs, calves, filling the space behind the knees and the thighs, filling the pelvis and the low spine, so the legs are floating and weightless and no longer in this space. The next wave rolls through the backs of the hands and forearms, caressing the elbows, triceps, space in the arms, armpits, all the way to the shoulders. So the arms are floating and weightless and no longer in this space. Your next inhale brings in that same wave from your tailbone, allowing it to roll up the spine, filling the space between each vertebrae with softness, light, energy, moving up through the middle back, shoulder blades, filling the space behind your neck, allowing the head to float and releasing completely out of the crown. So you are completely weightless and effortless, floating and no longer in this space. So just simply allow yourself to be light, weightless, and effortless in your final few moments in Shavasana. Start to slowly deepen your breath into your chest. Just letting the sound of the singing bowl just resonate in your heart. And start to slowly make tiny little micro movements with your fingers and toes. There's no rush to get up. So you can remain here for the rest of the video if you would like. When you're ready, you can start to draw the knees into the chest or to stretch overhead in a full body stretch, whatever works best for you. And then eventually make your way onto your right side in the fetal position, just embracing that space, that comfort, grounding, safety for a few moments. When it feels appropriate for you, use the top hand and use it to press yourself back up into the easy seat that we started with today. Whatever that looks like for you. You can bring your hands into your low lap. Close the eyes for just a moment and check back in on the other side of your practice. Again, no judgment, just simply noticing where you are, how you feel. Take your hands into prayer, bringing your thumbs right up against the heart, pressing your palms together. I want to thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you for your time, your energy, your space, your support. The inner light in me bows down to greet, love, and honor the inner light in each one of you. God bless each one of you, and Namaste. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for everything I just mentioned, your time, your support. Feel free to just chill. There's no need to get up and rush around, even if you need to. I really advise just sitting for a minute or 2 or 5 if you have it. But thank you again. I have my shameless marketing plug, so be sure and subscribe, share the playlists and all the good stuff that we have coming up with your friends, and we will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day.